Well, it's a final here in Ann Arbor. Michigan gets it done over their in-state rival, Michigan State, 79-70, and takes a commanding one-game lead in the Big Ten race. 4 games left. Michigan's 11-3. They beat their rivals today, Kyle. It was a tale of two halves. The first half, Michigan was playing from come from behind the whole time. Karis LeVert comes up big, 14 big first half points with a big 3 as they go into halftime.
Yeah, I thought in the early going in that first half, you really saw a Michigan State team that was very, very focused on coming in here, getting a win, kind of restoring some of the respect within the state. And they got out to that 10-point lead, 11-point lead it got to in that first half. But credit Michigan. They were down 22-11. They go on an 11-0 run themselves. Michigan State goes on another 9-1 run. Michigan is able to close it to 2 points on Karis LeVert's a big 3 to end that first half. So Michigan battled. They hung in there. They continued to fight. And you started to see heading into that second half, in the early going of that second half, Michigan State was starting to wear down a little bit, specifically Adrian Payne.
Second half, it's first at halftime, Nick Stauskas only has 4 points. Comes out blazing here in the second half, just sort of puts the team on his back, so to speak. 21 points in the second half, finishes with 25, just sort of took over. I mean, sort of the type of threes that we saw at Wisconsin, the step back 3, and sort of just, he was getting the lucky bounce. He was just, everything started to flow for Nick, and he sort of became that guy that we saw a month ago.
Well, you would have thought at halftime John Beilein might have said, you know, the impetus is on you, Nick. You have to do everything here, and, you know, we're going to go down with you, or, you know, you're going to go ahead and win this game for Michigan, and he was able to do that. He knocked down tough shots. You know, John Beilein has talked about him getting open, needing to see more effort and trying to get open, trying to create more shots and opportunities. He just put stuff up there. I mean, he was hitting shots with hands, you know, up right in his face, specifically that three-pointer, you know, fading away on the left wing. So, you know, an impressive performance out of him. Michigan needed it. That was his biggest game since, you know, up in East Lansing against Michigan State. So for Stauskas to do that in this game, give Michigan, you know, another win in that Big Ten against your in-state rival, that's a good thing for Michigan.
Adrian Payne wasn't available the first time these teams played. He was a key guy in the first half, sort of fatigued, sort of like the rest of the Spartans. It was a little surprising. Michigan State sort of dwindled down the stretch.
They did, and, you know, it's interesting, too. Keith Appling was out there. Tom Izzo just said, I'm going to go with my guy. You know, and, you know, he had Appling out there a lot. I thought maybe, you know, it might have hurt them a little bit. He's not shooting the ball well right now. He doesn't have any confidence doing that. Even dribbling it, he's got to use his offhand to be able to protect it, different things like that. So that's an interesting thing to look at. They're coming off a late Thursday night game at Purdue. You get home late, you know, tough schedule, tough turnaround. But, you know, you talk to Jordan Morgan after. They've played 5 games in 13 days. Michigan getting set for 4 games in 10 days. Now, you know, you kind of just, you got to do it. That's the Big Ten, and that's life. But Michigan, once they noticed that, and they kind of played it off in the postgame, once they noticed that, they got out and ran. They tried to use that energy against Michigan State even more so. And Michigan obviously was able to kind of stretch it out towards the end.
Yeah, it was a 2-man show, a 21-4 run there. That key second half run was basically Karis LeVert and Nick Stauskas. And then with about 7 minutes left is really when Michigan sort of gave Michigan State that knockout punch, so to speak. Michigan State's used to being the physical team, the team that sort of puts teams away, and this time it was Michigan, a team that's sort of been resilient all season and sort of just, you know, took it to the Spartans.
Well, it was interesting. It was a 7-point game, 59-52 Michigan lead, and I believe that is when they went to that 1-3-1 for 2 possessions right out of a timeout. They were able to force a bad shot out of Trice from the right wing, and then they were able to collect the rebound and get down. Karis LeVert had a 3, Karis LeVert had a dunk. All of a sudden, it's an 11, 12-point game. Michigan leads, and from there, they were really able to just coast and play defense, come up with some plays, and then obviously that Glenn Robinson, the third alley-oop, kind of put the cherry on top of this one.
Yeah, it's definitely brought the house down. Michigan definitely is in the driver's seat moving forward. We're going to find out how good this team is. They definitely have Big Ten aspirations, and it's looking like it's a reality, Kyle. So that's going to wrap up our coverage here from the Chrysler Center. For Kyle Bogan-Schutz, I'm Josh Newkirk.